Good morning. I also want to add, not only do I run our local breastfeeding coalition, I'm a lactation consultant at Twin Cities Hospital and for the Santa Barbara County Public Health Department in Santa Maria. So the current recommendation for optimal health from the American Academy of Pediatrics is exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months. At about 6 months, you can introduce complementary foods, but it's recommended to breastfeed for a minimum of 2 years. The AAP, as it's known, states there are continued benefits for breastfeeding beyond 1 year and up to 2 years, especially in the mother. Long-term breastfeeding is associated with protections against diabetes, high blood pressure, and cancers of the breast and ovaries. California in-hospital infant feeding practices are monitored using data collected by the Newborn Screening Program. The Maternal, Child, and Adolescent Health Program staff from the California Department of Public Health analyzes these data and publish yearly breastfeeding rates for the public to see. So the two breastfeeding data points that they check, that they collect, are exclusive breastfeeding, which means that baby was given nothing but mother's milk while they were in the hospital, or any breastfeeding, which means they got milk one time or they got it all the whole time except for one bottle of formula. So the most recent data that we have is 2020. And all three of our maternity hospitals had over 95% any breastfeeding rates. For exclusive breastfeeding, French Hospital was 88%, Sierra Vista 86%, and Twin Cities 78%. So the California average exclusive breastfeeding rate is 69%. So we are doing much better than most of California. For many years, we've had some of the highest breastfeeding rates in the state. So how are we able to accomplish this feat? All three of our hospitals are baby-friendly hospitals. So this is a designation from the World Health Organization that is proven to increase breastfeeding rates, breastfeeding initiation and exclusivity. So these facilities have implemented the 10 steps to successful breastfeeding. Some of the most important ones is that they're educating their staff. So anybody who comes in contact with mom or baby, be it housekeepers, the lab, anesthesiologists, anybody who comes in contact with them is having basic breastfeeding education. We do 24-hour rooming in. If you look at movies and you have babies in nurseries, whatever, that does not happen in this county. Only if they're sick or they need extra care, they will, but they are staying in the room with the family. And only breast milk is given unless medically indicated. And practical support is given to new parents. It's one thing to know, oh, breastfeeding is good, but how are you actually going to help somebody when they're struggling? So we have data that tells us most women intend to exclusively breastfeed before birth, but that it starts to fall apart within a few weeks of going home. So many women in our community are forced to choose between breastfeeding and providing financially for their family. So San Luis Obispo County hospitals do an amazing job getting breastfeeding off to a good start. However, there is still a lot of work to be done to support new parents in their infant feeding choices once they go home and the subsequent months and years. So the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends policies that protect breastfeeding, and these include, and in California, we do a lot of these: universal paid maternity leave, the right of a woman to breastfeed in public, insurance coverage for lactation support and breast pumps, and that's covered through the Affordable Health Care Act, on-site childcare, universal workplace break time with a clean private location for expressing milk. That's in our California laws. All employers should be doing this already. The right to feed expressed milk and the right to breastfeed in childcare settings and lactation rooms and schools are all essential to supporting families and sustaining breastfeeding. So we do have laws in place for universities and for K through 12. So mothers with low income, women younger than 20 years old, and those with a high school education or less, they breastfeed at lower rates, according to the 2018 National Immunization Survey by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So lactation consultants in San Luis Obispo County have dedicated their professional careers to helping new families meet their infant feeding goals. Becoming a new parent is hard, and our families deserve up-to-date unbiased, and medically accurate information and support. Our county does a very good job getting breastfeeding started off strong, but it will take investment and sustained support from all levels of our society for the children of San Luis Obispo County to meet the American Academy of Pediatrics breastfeeding recommendations. So I leave you today with my favorite quote about breastfeeding from Gabrielle Palmer. If a multinational company developed a product that was a nutritionally balanced and delicious food, a wonder drug, that both prevented and treated disease, it cost almost nothing to produce, and it could be delivered in quantities controlled by the consumer's needs. The very announcement of their find would send their shares rocketing to the top of the stock market. The scientists who developed this product would win prizes. The wealth and influence of everybody involved would increase dramatically. Women have been producing such a miraculous substance called breast milk since the beginning of human existence. Thank you.